What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kyng Pablo, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about the Diddy trial. So it's trial day 4, and Cassie is still on the stand. I have a couple of articles I'm going to read from TMZ, and then we're going to get into a video clip. The first article I have says Diddy overdosed on painkillers. Diddy overdosed on painkillers after a string of activity that included a freak-off, a visit to a sex club, and a party at the Playboy Mansion, Cassie testified. She told the jury Diddy was dependent on opiates for a time and that he overdosed in February 2012 after taking a very strong opiate. Cassie testified that on the day Diddy OD'd, they had a freak-off and went to a sex club in San Bernardino, and that Diddy went without her to a party at the Playboy Mansion. She said later that evening she helped take Diddy to the hospital where she was told he had overdosed. During the same line of questioning from Diddy, defense attorney Anna Estevio, Cassie also revealed she and Diddy used to call each other get high partners and that Diddy was explosive when she did drugs without him. Cassie also testified that there was nothing added to the baby oil used in the freak-offs and that the substance was not laced with drugs. Okay, well, we have clarity on that the baby oil was not laced. And y'all calling each other get high partners, so y'all was really on y'all Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston type with the getting high then. Get high buddies, really? Here's another one. Cassie to Diddy, I'm ovulating, but we can kiss. Response to a freak-off request. Diddy asked Cassie if he had permission to set up a freak-off, and then she told him she was ovulating, but appeared to agree on going forward if things remain PG. The interesting exchange was raised Thursday while Cassie was being cross-examined by Diddy defense attorney Anna Estevio, I think that's her name. Well, that's how you pronounce her last name, who was going over text messages between the former couple. Diddy texted Cassie asking permission to set up freaky fun, and her response was limited to one word, ovulation, which sounds like a clear no to sexual intercourse. She previously testified Diddy did not want the male escorts using condoms with her during freak-off. Oh my God. Diddy texted Cassie asking if they could kiss a lot, and she agreed. Cassie asked Diddy which hotel would they be meeting at, and testified she offered to go to a sex shop and the Pleasure Chest to stock up on supplies, including lubricants and outfits. Diddy texted Cassie to have fun and press me on her way to the shop. Prosecutors claimed Diddy was coercing Cassie into participating in freak-offs, but it appears his defense is using cross-examination to show things between them were consensual. This exchange happened in the summer of 2017 towards the end of their relationship. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Cassie on Diddy, yes, we were swingers. Diddy's defense says his sexual preferences are a part of a swinger's lifestyle, and Cassie just testified that they did some swinging. Cassie is being cross-examined by Diddy's defense attorney, and she confirmed she had conversations with Diddy about a swinger lifestyle when they were in a relationship. The singer says she experienced swinging firsthand when she accompanied Diddy to sex clubs, watching him have sex with other women multiple times, which sounds like a reversal of the freak-offs, where a previous witness said Diddy would watch her have sex with a male sex worker. Diddy's defense attorney asked Cassie straight up if the freak-offs were related to a swinger's lifestyle, and she responded, related in a sexual way, yeah, but they're very different. Diddy being a swinger is a key part of his defense, with the head of his legal team, Mark, I can't pronounce these people's last name, Angafilio, I think, previously arguing being a swinger is so common, Diddy probably didn't think twice about it. Last year's federal indictment on Diddy mentions the now famous freak-off parties, calling them elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. The mogul's lawyers seem to be trying to establish some of the alleged sexual behavior was part of the swinger lifestyle, as opposed to prosecutors' claims of sex trafficking, and coercion, and they are leaning into it during Cassie's cross-examination. I think we had one more I want to read. Let's see. Okay, we'll do this one. Diddy trial defense begins cross-examination of Cassie. Questions about early loving relationship. The fourth day of testimony in Diddy's NYC federal sex trafficking trial began Thursday with Cassie taking the stand again, with Diddy's defense team's turn at cross-examining her after 3 days of prosecution's questioning. Sean Diddy Combs' defense attorney asked Cassie to read a text she sent to Combs years ago. Cassie read it out to the court. "I love you, smiley face. I'll fly anywhere for you. I love you, Cass." Affectionate messages from Diddy were also shown to the jury from early in their relationship, which Cassie described on the stand this morning as loving. "I'm a very lucky woman. I miss you so much," she said, reading from one of the exchanges. Diddy's defense team appears to be deploying a strategy of attempting to show the loving relationship between Cassie and Diddy during their lengthy relationship in an effort to bolster their position that she's consented to the terms of the relationship and chose to stay in it. Cassie admitted she'd been in love with Diddy for more than a decade, but she seemed to push back on the question about her continuing to return to him for 11 years, saying, "I wouldn't say coming back." She said she believed he loved her back. When asked whether it hurt her when he cheated on her, she said, "Not every time." Diddy's defense attorney then referenced a 2009 email and asked Ventura what BG means, and Cassie replied, "Baby girl." Before the jury was seated Thursday morning, prosecutors told the judge they were frustrated by the defense dumping 400 exhibits overnight, which they haven't yet been able to analyze. Douglas Wigdor, Cassie's own attorney, addressed the judge and asked to be included in any considerations by the court about what she could be asked by the defense team. Since she's the only named witness, it seems he's concerned about privacy issues as she's asked about her sex life and other lifestyle activities. Okay, so we're going to get into this video clip, and I'll come back with my commentary.
Let's quickly turn to New York, where Sean Diddy Combs, his former girlfriend, R&B singer Cassie Ventura, is facing cross-examination today in her sex trafficking trial. This is happening in federal court, so no cameras are allowed.
That's right, but joining us now outside the courthouse is our own Court TV legal correspondent, Kelly Craft, who's been there covering this since the beginning. Kelly, tell us, what's the latest there today, please?
Hi there, Judge Ashley and Michael. So some interesting cross-examination taking place as defense counsel is asking the government's star witness about her insane jealousy. Also, she brought up an important thing to talk about in regard to her, in a way, wanting to agree to these freak-offs and showing all of these communications in which Cassie is suggesting things about the freak-offs. Another point that's been important is this relationship with a man by the name of Kid Cudi, in which Cassie, according to the testimony, was taking part in one of these freak-offs when Sean Combs found out that she was, quote-unquote, cheating on him with this man you're looking at right here, Kid Cudi. She was in one of those freak-offs, and then Sean got a hold of her phone and then realized that they had been having a relationship together, and she said that that did not go over very well, to say the least. So one of the other things that defense counsel has been saying back and forth with Cassie, when Cassie is responding with things like, "I can't recall, it's a long time ago," at one point defense counsel said, "Yeah, it was a long time ago, and it sounds like you were doing a lot of drugs." Cassie's drug use has been front and center in this case. She readily admitting to using drugs and that she had to use drugs in order to take part in those freak-offs. We can put some full screens up on the screen for you, kind of tell you a little bit about what some of the testimony has been like today. So she did testify that her friends knew about the physical abuse because they often witnessed it. Her parents and brother knew about the abuse as well. Throughout their relationship, they both did a lot of drugs. Also, some other things that were talked about today, we can put that up for you as well. The judge was pushing the defense to wrap up Ventura's cross by tomorrow afternoon. The prosecutor did tell the judge Ventura could have her third baby this weekend. Combs was seen writing on orange sticky notes, passing one after another to his attorney, who was sitting right beside him. So as we've been watching Sean Combs throughout this trial. A lot of times he is conferring with his attorneys, passing notes. Other times he's sitting back in a relaxed state. We also can tell you that the judge did push the defense to wrap up Ventura's cross by tomorrow afternoon. So that was really important as well because of Cassie expecting to possibly deliver this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But that's some of the latest details of what's been taking place inside the courtroom, Michael and Judge Ashley, and we'll continue to monitor it and bring you all the latest as the details become available.
All right, Kelly Craft, thank you so much for being with us. Michael, let me ask you this. I mean, clearly Cassie Ventura is being painted by the prosecution as she's not a saint. And she did things that she was doing on her own without being a victim, that she wasn't a victim. Are they being effective, do you think?
I think they are. I think they're handling it very well. And I think what they're doing is they're using her own words.
Yeah.
They brought out a number of text messages which suggest, again, that she maybe played more of a role in this than she let on, and maybe liked it more than she let on. But again, I have to caution everyone. People who are involved in these domestic violence situations, that is not uncommon.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That is not uncommon. They want to keep the peace. They do whatever they have to keep the peace.
Yeah, and I will say this, in that little bitty video where he kicks her, you can tell she goes limp as if she's accustomed to it and doing whatever she can to survive.
Yeah, it's not the first time she's been in that situation.
I agree.
All right, so we're back. So we pretty much see what the defense is doing. They're trying to make it seem like that Cassie was a consensual participant in these freak-offs and using those text messages pretty much against her. But you do have to realize, like the reporter was saying, that she could have been just texting that to make him feel good, because she knows that that's something he wants. She may have liked it at a few times, or, you know, you never know. I don't think she consented every time. Now, I do believe that. I don't think she consented to this every time. And I think a lot of it, she was going to do it because she wanted to please him and she didn't want him to do it with anyone else. And I think she did admit to saying that she was afraid that he would do it with someone else if she didn't do it with him. But he just would have to do it with somebody else if it was me, because no. We also heard about the Kid Cudi situation. Also that he overdosed on opiates. So we already know that he's been a addict for probably over 20, 30 years. So we know he's a heavy addict. And we know how people that's on drugs alter their emotions, alter their mind. She's going to be back on the stand tomorrow. The judge wants to wrap her testimony up. They say that she's could go into labor this weekend. So she is very, very far along. So I'm pretty sure they want to wrap up everything they need to do with her. I'm still over that article about them calling themselves Get High Buddies. I'm still over that. We're going to see what this goes with this trial. It's really heating up. We're going to see. I'm going to save my thoughts for right now about what I think is going to happen till I hear more. Yeah, this was trial day 4. We'll be back tomorrow. I think they do have court tomorrow. If they have court tomorrow, we'll be back with more commentary. We can continue the conversation in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's me, your boy, Kyng Pablo. Peace.